Hello and welcome. It is the Nisha Jackson Show. I'm Rusty Humphries, and she is the smart one. She's Nisha Jackson, and we sure appreciate you being here. If you would please subscribe. Tell your friends. Share, subscribe, share on all those things. YouTube or Google Podcasts or Apple Podcasts, wherever you find us. Let people know because it's really important stuff, especially shows like, last week we talked about holiday weight gain. No one wants to get fat over the holidays. And this week, I think we're going to talk about holiday stuff too because we want to make sure that, when holidays are tough for everybody, they're great. I love them. There's nothing better than Christmas. But sometimes it isn't great. And what do you do during those times? And Nisha, I know that that's kind of something that's been on your mind a little bit, helping people get through some of those tough times, right?
Yes, absolutely. With as much joy and love and socialness that we have during the holidays, there's also a lot of sadness. People that have the blues, it's in the middle of winter, but people get very depressed. They think about people they've lost. Um, Maybe they're coming up on a new year and they're thinking about all the things they didn't do this last year, what a difficult year it's been. So it's a time of reflection. A lot of times that reflection isn't very positive. So I think it's important to talk about not only how to take care of your body, how to take care of your health and how to stay on top of your game, which we've addressed, but I also think it's important to stay on top of your mood and stay on top of your brain chemicals because it's a stressful time of year and stress affects the neural brain chemicals in a very negative way. So does alcohol and so does certain types of food. So if you put all that together, Rusty, and you think about you're already reflecting on 2019 and maybe things that didn't go so well and you're feeling a little bit down about it, or you're starting to reflect on the people that you don't have with you these holidays, or the people that you cannot share because you can't get together with them, and you're feeling sad and you're starting to work up to more of a significant depression. I think what really is important is to put some things in your plan right now. Not that you can make those negative memories or those sad memories go away, but there's things you can do that support your whole system and your brain chemicals that would lift your mood a little bit, and it will help you. It'll help you significantly.
Okay, let me ask you this. Doesn't it just happen? Sometimes you feel down or you're depressed. Heck, sometimes you don't even know why, but isn't that just human nature? Or is there something we can
Yes.
do about it?
Yeah. So there's two things I want to say about that. One is I think we've become a society, Rusty, and we touched on this in the past. We've become a society where when we feel sad or we feel depressed, we feel like, oh my gosh, it's not normal. Like I need to take something because it's not normal that I'm still crying 2 weeks after my mother died. And it is normal. It might be normal for you to cry for a year after your mother dies. But but what's not normal is when it starts to interfere with what you're doing every day, meaning you're not getting out of bed, you're not taking care of yourself, you're not doing all the positive things that are good for you. So that's what I just want to feed everybody with today is what can you do to keep yourself balanced as you go through the holidays from a mood standpoint, because it's stressful. There's a lot going on. Our lives are already so full, not to mention sending out Christmas cards and going to parties and preparing for holiday get-togethers. It's a lot to think about and process. So stress is important to manage during these
Well,
months.
don't you just say, snap out of it? No,
That's what I tell myself sometimes.
right. Sometimes you should tell yourself that, right? Some of it's an internal voice saying, "Hey, come on, let's go. Come on, get
Yeah,
over it a little bit." But
right.
there's that, and then there's more to it.
Yes, there is more to it, and that's one of the things I want to just bring to the attention of our audience, Rusty, is the effects of alcohol on the brain are significant, and people naturally drink more alcohol between Thanksgiving and New Year. And sometimes they're already drinking a lot of alcohol, and then they just drink it even more. And so alcohol is a depressant. I don't care what study says wine's good or whatever, it's still a depressant. So we have to take care of our brain. It also leaches certain things from our body, B complex, B12 specifically. It leaches magnesium. These are two really good supplements for our mood. So when you're partaking in something like alcohol on a regular basis, even if it's a glass of wine, you could have lower magnesium levels in your body than you should, which could negatively affect your mood. So this is one thing I just want people to keep in mind is not only is sugar a depressant, but so is alcohol. And so just remember that what we said last time is your party that you're going to or the holiday is one day. It's not 2 weeks. So keep in mind that you should not be partaking in large amounts of sugar and alcohol every day unless you want to be depressed or have anxiety. So or gain a lot of weight. So moderation is really important and keeping it to specific days is key. The other thing that I think is really key for people is to think about what they can do to kind of keep their mood up. If you already feel you're kind of going into that, I'm so stressed and I'm so sad and I'm so disgusted with myself that I didn't lose the 10 pounds or 50 pounds this year. I didn't start an exercise plan. I didn't get that promotion at work. I didn't do what I said I was going to do. My life is just, 2019 was just a blur. I mean, a lot of people say that, right, Rusty? A lot of people say, I just can't wait for 2019 to go. 2020 is going to be better. But why is it going to be better? Like, what are you doing to make it better? Because we can only really take care of ourselves, and we should be taking care of ourselves.
Is part of the self-talk, give yourself a break a little bit.
What's that?
Should part of the self-talk be, you know what? Hey, maybe not everything's perfect, but give yourself a break. You know,
Yes.
don't be so darn hard on yourself. I
Yeah,
think a
and
lot of us have that too.
energetically speaking, I mean, certainly from an attraction standpoint, which the vibrational pull on negative thoughts is so powerful that the more time we spend focusing on the problem, I mean, it's good to focus on a problem and identify the solution and then move right to the solution and focus on the solution. But what we do is we identify the problem and then we stay locked onto that problem. And then we just beat ourselves up for that problem. I mean, what's the point? Because if you do that, all you're asking yourself is, I want more of that problem because that's what I'm focused on. That's what I'm staying on. Why in the world would you want more of the problem? You want the solution. So let yourself identify the problem, identify the solution, and then move right to the solution. If you're sad and you're frustrated and you're depressed, do not focus on that. Focus on the things that I'm going to tell you right now that you can do to get yourself up. Again, it's not going to make the problem go away.
Okay.
If you're sad about somebody you lost, or you're sad about the money you don't have, or whatever the issue is, don't stay fixed on the problem. The vibrational pull to that will continue to get stronger with time, and it's not what you want. You want the solution. So, number one thing I want you to do during the holidays is I want to have you surround yourself with energizers.
Like the battery?
No, not the battery. Well, yeah,
Energizer batteries, little bunny, boom, boom.
yeah, they could be like batteries, but they're people. They're people that make you feel up. So if you're surrounding yourself with people that are constantly gossiping and constantly have a negative outlook on life and constantly think their glass is half full, or excuse me, half empty. And if you're constantly surrounding yourself with people like that and you've got a lot of negative input coming in all day, you got to switch it up. Find some people that make you feel up, that make you laugh, that make you want to enjoy life, that make you want to be a better person. Seek out these people. That should be on your list for 2020. Everybody should surround themselves with more positive, more healthy-minded people because you become the group that you're hanging out with. So just remember that. Now, if there's somebody in your family you can't get away from that's very negative, that's okay. Probably can't get rid of them, but you could surround yourself with 4 or 5 other people that are really positive. So that's number one is get rid of the drainers if you can and add more energizers to your contact list because that is going to be really important. The other thing is that I think is so key during the holidays is do not let social media or the TV or staying home be your entertainment. You need social connections. There's been thousands of studies, Rusty, that have been done on social connectiveness, how important it is for our health. We need it. We get oxytocin from it, which is kind of the feel-good hormone. We feel more up when we have good social connections. We need connectiveness. Men and women need it. Not just,
it is hard. That's hard for me, Nisha. I mean, I live in a place where the kids are out of the house. I'm single. I live in a place where I don't know anybody. I work out of my house. It's not easy for everybody. I mean, you're a social butterfly. Everybody wants to hang out with Nisha, but me, it's a little bit different. So I get it.
Yeah, it's really easy to, especially in today's world with everything at our fingertips on a computer, it's so easy to just not get out. And it's so easy just to text somebody instead of call them. And it's so easy just to eat dinner at home rather than call someone and say, let's go out. So, or why don't you come over for dinner? And I think it's so important because we get so much from that. And I know a lot of women today that aren't socially connected at all because all they're doing is on all of their connectedness is on the phone. It's not the same. You can't even slightly replace it. So we don't get oxytocin from our phone. We get it from social connectedness and lots of other things like laughing and lovemaking and hugging and affection. That's where we get oxytocin. You cannot get it from a text
Now,
message.
oxytocin, that is different than OxyContin, correct?
Yes.
Okay, because I know you can get that stuff. I just don't suggest it.
No, this is another feel good thing, but it's actually good for you.
Okay, good. I just want to make that clear. I want to make sure I understand that we're working together here, you and me.
On the same page.
Yeah.
Oxytocin is the feel good hormone that really extends life. It reduces inflammation. It makes you feel happy. It's so good for you, and it's this feeling of loveliness that you can get, but you have to get it from having connectiveness, like having human touch. And you don't get that from your phone. So that would be the other thing these holidays is just think about planning special things. There's several events that I do each holiday with friends, like really special things that are a tradition. And I was just thinking about it this morning. I was thinking, oh, I've got to plan our toffee making party because I have a toffee making party with two of my best friends. We do it every holiday, and then we make these little tins of toffee and we give them out, right? And it's not a good thing to eat, but we have so much fun doing it. We always go to my friend Roxanne's kitchen, and it's just a great time. And I was just thinking, oh, I don't know if I have a day to do that, but I'm like, I am not going to miss that. I'm not going to miss it. It's more important to go to that than something else. So all I'm saying is the social connectiveness is very, very important.
Okay. Is that it? What else? Okay, I'll ask you one. Let me go real quick, and I hope I'm not jumping forward in any of your lists there because you get your list and you get focused.
No,
Nisha's
no,
very focused. Here's
am
my, and that is meditation. Is that something that you're still into, and how does that help people? I'm
yeah,
finding that helping when things are a little bit tough.
yeah. So meditation is huge for me, and it's really, really important. I do a lot of different types of meditation. I don't always do a traditional 20, 30, 40-minute meditation in the morning because sometimes it just doesn't work. I start my day really early, so sometimes it doesn't work. But I try to meditate throughout the day, even if I'm just driving down the road, which sounds kind of crazy and dangerous, but it actually isn't. Um, turn your radio off, turn all of your music off, turn your phone on silent, and just think about loveliness. Think about all the things you're thankful for. I'm telling you, it is impossible to be in a state of gratitude and be negative at the same time. Your brain is not even capable of doing that. So if you're in a state of gratitude where there's always something to be thankful for. You are alive. And so even when I'm driving down the road sometimes, especially when I'm feeling really wigged out with stress, if I just close my mind to all of the stress and I start thinking about all the lovely things that I'm thankful for, which there are thousands of them, I go right into a state of very positive, meditative, great gratitude. And that's huge because you can't be negative. You cannot be negative when you're feeling grateful.
And that's one of the big things that I think you would encourage people to do, and that is to start off with thankfulness, right? And
Yes.
we had Thanksgiving recently, Christmas, but thankfulness for life, thankfulness for food, clothing, shelter, family, love, whatever it is,
Yes.
whether you're
Yeah.
in a good or bad place.
And
Thankfulness.
thinking about how most of the world lives. If you think about what most of the world has, we're so lucky. If you're listening to this show, you're lucky. You're very fortunate because that means that you probably aren't living like the majority of the world if you think about it. So we're so fortunate, and there is a lot to be thankful for. But the key is, it's kind of a cool trick. Like if you're in a state of gratitude, you cannot be in a state of negativity. And if you're in a state of negativity, it's a gravitational pull. You will continue to be negative, and you'll continue to be sad. So we don't really want you to be that way, and I know you don't want to be that way. So meditating on thankfulness and things you're thankful for is one of the easiest things you can do if you don't have a traditional meditative plan every day in your daily routine.
Isn't one of the most difficult things with that is probably the same thing as difficult starting exercising, and that is if you're depressed and you're not feeling good and you're upset or whatever, it's hard to think of why you may be thankful. It's hard to start
Yes.
that.
Yeah. Just remember this. It's just the most simple principle. The more you put your focus on something, the more you're going to get of that. This is not woo-woo, Rusty. This is like proven fact. The more you focus on what it is that's the problem or the solution or whatever you're focusing on, the more you stay on it, the more you're going to get it. So if you're very frustrated with yourself and your weight, or you're very sad about the loved one that left you, or whatever it is, whatever you don't have, the more you focus on it, the more you're going to get. So why don't we just choose to change our focus to gratitude, or change our focus to, like we talked about earlier, the solution, and get more of that? Why wouldn't we want more of that? It's simple. This is very simple stuff.
And I've noticed, I mean, this is something that, and I bring this up because I know the way Nisha is, and I've been to her house and her place of business, and you've got messages of positivity everywhere you look.
Yeah, I was just telling someone the other day that in 2005, when I built my first medical office building, I on every main wall in each room, I did a wall size quote, and that was kind of early on. Like, people weren't really into quotes that much, and it's been so fun. It's such a big part of my life. That really kind of got me going on how important it is to start your day with a positive quote, and to give positive quotes to other people. I send them to my daughters all the time, and that's a really great way to love on people too, is to send them a positive quote. And you can't even imagine how just words can turn your day around. Or listening to really positive music, or fun music, music that you can just belt the song out with, and laughter. These are all things that help that oxytocin hormone that we were just talking about, that feel good hormone. So think about things that just make you feel up, and try to stay away from things that are dragging you down, because during the holidays, it's going to happen. You're going to feel stressed, and you're going to feel sad. There's going to be days you're not eating well, and just know that that is going to be a depressant for you. But there's so many things you can do to bring yourself back up.
So, and just to clarify, those were positive quotes. It wasn't like, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn, or that's a spicy meatball. It wasn't quotes like that. It was things are positive.
And there's so many great apps. I have like 5 or 6 quote apps on my phone, and I use them a lot to send to people. There's even daily affirmations that you can send to yourself, or have sent to you from these apps. So I would really encourage everybody to get some kind of quote app or daily affirmation app, so you can be fed daily. Someone should be feeding you also. And then I just want to end with this show with making sure people know, and you're doing some of this stuff, Rusty, now also, is make sure people know that you need to be feeding your brain things that keep you positive. So like B complex. I can't even tell you how many people over the last 30 years that I've been using these crazy little B complex sublingual drops in my office. 30 years I've been using these, and same ones, because they work. And they're all the B's, and you put them underneath your tongue after you eat breakfast or lunch, or whatever whenever your first meal is. And those raise the B levels in your system, and the B vitamins are precursor to your brain chemicals. So if you don't want to be depressed and anxious, or having excessive body pain or cravings and all the things that brain chemicals take care of, you got to restore the B vitamins in your diet. And most people don't have enough in their system, Rusty. I mean, when we tested your B12 level, it was like no, actually yours was high.
Mine was really high, but I was cheating.
Star.
Yeah.
But that's just B12.
Yeah.
So you need other Bs. And that's one of the easiest ways to turn around a depressive mood or a low mood, is get Bs in your diet.
Is it
The
B's
other
and D's? Is that the other one that's important for depression?
Yes, and seasonal affective disorder, that's the winter depression that people get. You can almost completely resolve that with high dose vitamin D. So that would be about 5,000 international units of vitamin D. You can get your blood tested and see where you're at, which I would recommend, but just taking vitamin D with food, it has to be taken with food, preferably food that has a little bit of fat in it. That is excellent for depression. Excellent. I'm telling you, it will help people not be depressed in the winter if they would just optimize their vitamin D.
And it does matter where you get that vitamin D. Like my daughter's like, well, I'm going to go to Walmart and get it. It's like, no. I keep telling her, go to Nisha's place. I'll pay for them. Just get over there and get them. I can't. It takes time. Just do it.
Yeah.
But it does matter
Most
what kind of supplement, right?
and most health food stores can tell you what are the better supplements as far as the quality of the supplement, and if it's GMP certified, meaning that it stands up to FDA compliancy. So, and then the other thing is the magnesium. Magnesium is very important, and so is fish oil for your mood. So if you're not taking the B complex, the vitamin D, magnesium, and fish oil, and your mood is poor, before you go and slam yourself with a bunch of antidepressants, I mean, unless it's a critical problem and you really need rescued, try some of these things, like get the sugar and the alcohol out of your diet and add these supplements in, and give yourself a week, just a week, and see what happens. The other supplement that I've used for years that I'm going to highly recommend is called the Mood Supplement. It's on my website, nishajackson.com. And that supplement, I actually formulated that supplement, I don't know, years ago, 13, 14 years ago. And that supplement raises the neural brain chemical serotonin naturally, and it also raises the brain chemical GABA. And those two things are excellent for your mood and for reducing some anxiety and helping you sleep at night. So that would be the last supplement I would suggest if you really want to try to have a turnaround in your mood, is to give your brain some of these things that will help keep it up while you're under more stress and maybe not eating perfect during the holiday time and you're already feeling a little bit anxious or depressed for whatever reason.
Any quick suggestions for people like me? I'm allergic to seafood, any fish oil. So fish oil makes me sick. Is there something that you would suggest other than fish oil?
So the omega-3 fatty acids, you can get omega-3 and have it not be fish oil based. So I would suggest getting omega-3, even eating walnuts. Walnuts have an excellent source of omega-3 in it.
Flaxseed oil?
Yeah, just flaxseed oil, just eating nuts and seeds. You want to make sure that you have a good combination of 3, 6, and 9. So there are supplements that you can get that have the omegas 3, 6, and 9 in it that are not fish based. So fish oil is just one type of oil that you can get. But just eating more good fats in your diet, we have to remember all hormones come from fat. So if we have a not a healthy, good healthy fat diet, we're not probably going to manufacture the hormones that we need to stay balanced, which is also your mood.
Yes. Okay. So if we want to get some of these supplements, like I've sent my daughter over to your clinic, but you can also get them online. It's nishajackson.com, right?
That's right.
Anything else you want to wrap this up with?
Nope, just stay up. Don't focus on the negative. Get yourself identifying the problem and move right to the solution, and stay on the solution. Stay there. Stay there with gratitude, and stay there with sheer will that you're going to will yourself to stay positive, and you're going to will yourself to start doing good things for yourself, because staying on the negative doesn't help you at all. It doesn't change anything. We can't change yesterday. We can't change it, but we can change today, and we certainly can change tomorrow by how we treat ourselves today.
I'd listen to her. She knows what she's talking about. She's Nisha Jackson. The website is nishajackson.com or onepeakmedical.com. You can also please subscribe to the program, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, Facebook, where you see it, and share it with a friend. I mean, do you know somebody that has these holiday depressions, somebody in your life, somebody that you love? Share them this show and see how maybe you can help them get through the holiday season. We sure appreciate you very much. I'm Rusty Humphries. She's Nisha Jackson. We'll catch you next time here on The Nisha Jackson Show.